The Royals have punted the ball back to Fairless after a 4th down and 5, and Fairless has taken back over. We are back underway just into the latter half of the second quarter. Fairless has a 2nd down and 5 from the 32-yard line. The Royals with a good stop there on 2nd and 5. No gain. 3rd down and 5. So a big play coming up here on 3rd down. Yeah, I know. I've set it up. And they've got a completion out near midfield. It's going to be a 1st down as Fairless moves the sticks. So Fairless has a 1st down from near midfield. They're driving here, their first possession after a CVCA punt. This time it's a run, and the Royals are all over it. Hunter Campbell on a direct snap. That's a new twist. We have not seen that before today. Brennan Darr picked up that tackle. It's a 2nd down and a little over 10 yards to go. Oh. And unfortunately, we have just had more lightning. So we've run 2 minutes and 28 seconds off the clock, which leaves us with 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the second quarter. And the referees are conferring. And I fear, under Ohio High School Athletic Association rules, we might be looking at another delay, even though the radar looked pretty good. There was a sharp band of lightning, and frankly, the first lightning we've seen in probably about an hour, just beyond the home stands. Both teams are being sent to their sidelines, but so far nothing beyond that. We hope that you have found us on the second broadcast. Between the first delay and then the second delay, the broadcast length time that we had for the original broadcast did run out. So we are back online. You should be able to find us on the CVCA Athletics Facebook Live page, as well as through the Boxcast Direct link, and we'll try and get that tweeted out as quickly as we can. Unfortunately, though, it looks like both teams are being sent back to the locker rooms and the buses, so we're going to have more delays. It's been an eventful evening so far, and this time around, with the clock at 10:31 p.m., there is a meeting of the minds on the Fairless Falcon F at the center of the field on the 50-yard line. Those minds are Coach Dan Larlam from CVCA, Coach A.J. Sarbaugh from Fairless, and the referee crew. As we said before, the radar did look decent, but there was that one bit of lightning, and unfortunately there is no avoiding the fact that that is an automatic delay recommendation in the OHSAA guidelines. Had we been able to continue, it sure looked like we had a clear path for several hours, and I do suspect, in looking at the radar on the weather.com app, that storm that was associated with that lightning strike may have been south and east of where we are in Navarre, Ohio, but I believe that it may be dire for a continuation tonight as we get later into the evening. And in fact, indeed, the storms have passed, and looking at that radar, it is clear all the way back to Chicago, Illinois. There are some storms up in Michigan, in western Michigan, the Grand Rapids area, and those storms are gradually moving south and east, but we are definitely in the clear. But the question now remains as to whether or not this game will continue this evening. It's about an hour drive back to Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio, to the campus of CVCA, and then these athletes will disperse from there. There is a JV game tomorrow scheduled at 10 a.m. at Royal Stadium between these same two schools. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've been following along, you've seen about 2.5 minutes of play here beyond the second lightning delay of the evening. Fairless received a punt and moved the ball to near midfield. In fact, exactly to midfield, when there was another bolt of lightning that sent the teams back to the locker rooms and to the CVCA buses for yet another delay. Most of the bad weather is now to our east and to our south, and it does look like there's a good weather window. The problem we are facing now is the required delay for that one isolated lightning bolt. And we are into our third lightning delay of the evening. As mentioned, there is a meeting going on right now between the head coaches. I believe I see CVCA Athletic Director John Young, who is out there as well. I'm sure his counterpart from Fairless High School is also having a conversation. Again, recapping the original live stream that we had tonight. The broadcast window and the time actually expired due to the fact that we had two lengthy delays, one prior to the start of the game, and then an hour-plus delay at the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. CVCA returned from that delay on a 4th down and 5 and punted the ball away to Fairless, who took over and got one first down and had the ball 2nd down and 10 yards to go at midfield at 3:32 on the clock. And again, the question now is whether or not we are going to continue tonight. It's currently 10:36 Eastern Time, and I believe that they have to wait at least a half an hour before another warm-up can begin. So we wait, as do you. Tim Nichols here tonight with you from Fred Breidwieser Stadium. We're glad that you've been following along. It's been a challenging start to the season. It was challenging ever before they kicked off this year. The Royals, back in the end of May, just before Memorial Day, when Governor DeWine gave the okay for conditioning, began adhering to the Ohio Department of Health guidelines that allowed them to condition. to lift in small groups and to prepare for their season. On August the 1st, all schools in Ohio were allowed to begin practicing for the season in the hopes that there would be a season, but it was not until just 10 days ago that the governor and lieutenant governor of Ohio allowed contact sports activities to actually take place. And there was a mad scramble when the OHSAA said they were going to reduce the regular season to 6 games, and then everyone would make the postseason. There's just been another big bolt of lightning, again, beyond the school. And so I'm sure they'll reset the clock if they do intend to continue tonight. It's 10:38. You're looking at a delay till after 11 o'clock now. So I am just purely speculating, waiting as are you, about whether or not we're going to get any further activity in tonight. Again, the radar looks like we've got a window that would allow us to play, but it may be that the clock, the time of day, may be working against us given the additional delays and the time to get back. But again, that's pure speculation. The referees and the athletic directors and coaches are still conferring at midfield. And as soon as we know something, we will certainly let you know. Again, a recap of tonight's activities. There was an hour and 5-minute delay at the start due to a strong line of storms that passed through. And then the first quarter got underway. CVCA took possession, but their first drive stalled. They punted it away to Fairless, who began to move down the field, but after a pass completion on a screen pass, fumbled the ball back to CVCA. That drive stalled, and Fairless then drove down in their second possession 80 yards and converted their first touchdown of the year on a 23-yard touchdown pass. That touchdown pass was from their senior quarterback, Ethan Brindley, to Brody Pumneo. 23 yards, it was 7-0. The Royals then, on their third possession, drove the field, and on a scramble play on a third down, Michael Bevington found David Lewis in the flat, and Lewis broke one tackle and was off to the races into the end zone. I believe that was a 32-yard touchdown pass. The point after touchdown was blocked, however. The score was 7-6. After the ensuing kickoff, outstanding junior running back Hunter Campbell took a pitch to the right side, and after he hit the corner, beat one man and was gone 68 yards to the end zone. And the conversion made it 14-6. And that's where we stand right now with 3 minutes and 32 seconds to go in the second quarter. We're paused. Elsewhere, Orville, as we mentioned before, was under a delay with Northwest. The score of that game, the last we saw, was 7-0. We've just read up on the Orville Red Raiders football Twitter site that game has been postponed and will resume tomorrow at 12 noon at Orville. So I believe Northwest is leading that game 7-0. Here in Navarre at Fairless High School, we wait. And there are conversations still taking place. The rain is gone, but the lightning has put us under a third weather delay this evening. As mentioned earlier, there is a scheduled junior varsity game between Fairless and CVCA tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. at Royal Stadium. If this game gets moved to the morning or perhaps the afternoon, that game at Royal Stadium between the JV squads could be in jeopardy, but again, we speculate. We do not know anything officially at the moment. We are paused at 3:32 of the second quarter. It does look like the Tuslaw game has resumed, and the latest score update we have there, that game is in the third quarter, and Southeast has a 14-12 lead over Tuslaw. I suspect a decision may have been made at this point, but the spectators are all still in the stands on both the home and the visiting side. The referees, though, are slowly walking away. And we may have an announcement here soon. In the background, you may be able to hear the music from the public address system, which has restarted. And we're still waiting to find out if we're going to play football tonight or not. While we do wait, we want to shout out again one more time a thank you to our 2020 CVCA Royals Power Meal sponsors. Those sponsors chip in, and many of them are recurring every single year. A big shout out to Panini's Bar and Grill on Steels Point, 4200 Steels Point in Stowe. To TGI Fridays, that is, also in Stowe. And to Texas Roadhouse. Thank you to Rockneys in Hudson and Casa d'Angelo in Macedonia, and the McDonald's on Steels Corner Road in Stowe. Those are your 2020 Royals football Power Meal sponsors. You get a chance to patronize any one of those fine establishments. We encourage you to do so and say thank you for their support of CVCA football. We are, again, in a lightning delay, and if the screen says warm-up occurring, that was a little while back now. That warm-up is not occurring. That warm-up occurred, happened, is in the past, in history, and we are now in our third lightning delay of the evening. So far, no announcement has been made as to the remaining plans. What I can tell you is that we did have a couple of fun segments to go at halftime, and we've had more than our share of pauses in this game, so I'm not sure we're going to have a halftime. But this game is somewhat reminiscent of a CVCA game that happened 11 years ago tonight, when the Royals traveled to East Canton High School and took on a team that was 9-1 the prior year and loaded. Head coach Ray Caroscia had a playoff team as well, but lost a lot from the 2008 team and came in with a bunch of freshmen, including a freshman quarterback. In fact, it was his son, Antonio Caroscia. The Royals played on another stormy night, trailed until about 4 minutes to go in the fourth quarter when they actually took the lead, 13-12 at East Canton. And as they completed the extra point, lightning struck, and there was a long delay, and ultimately that game was moved to the next morning. When it did resume, East Canton took over and drove down the field and scored with less than 1 minute left to go in the game. Took an 18-13 lead. Their point after touchdown was not successful. And that left the Royals desperate to come up with some type of a score, and less than a minute to go on the clock with no timeouts. What happened next went down in Royals history as freshman quarterback Antonio Carosia heaved a 55-yard Hail Mary, and that Hail Mary, when answered, when Ben Shepard came down with it, the Royals took a 19-18 lead with less than 15 seconds to go in the game. On the ensuing final East Canton play, Xavier Douglas, the older brother of Shane Douglas, who starred last year at running back for CVCA, got into the backfield and it had a strip sack of the quarterback to close out the game, and the Royals won a thriller when that game resumed the next morning, 19-18 on this day, and in fact these 2 days in Royals history, on August 28th and 29th, 2009. That Royals team went on to finish the season 7-3 and did qualify for the Ohio State playoffs before bowing out to an 11-1 Girard team that was very loaded that year. The Royals have played one other game on August 28th, and that game was not as successful. That game occurred 5 years ago. In fact, it was Coach Dan Larlam's first game ever as CVCA head coach. The Royals were on the road at Woodridge, and the Royals were rebuilding. Larlam took over after a couple of very lean years. The Royals had gone 1-9 in 2013 and 0-10 in 2014. And Larlam knew he had a rebuilding program on his hands after coming over from his prior coaching at Walsh High School. That team bowed out to Woodridge by a score of 42-0. But in the post-game interviews that night, Coach Dan Larlam said, "We want tough guys to do tough things." And he has absolutely rebuilt this Royals program, which has qualified for the state playoffs the last 2 seasons, and last year winning its first ever home playoff game, hosting its first ever home playoff game in program history, and a resounding defeat of Salem in that game, 40-8. The Royals finished last season at 8-4, losing the next week to Perry High School. Perry with an outstanding crop of players, including running back Jalen Anderson, who has signed, or will sign later this fall, a letter of intent to play running back at West Virginia University. The Perry team from up on the lake in Ohio is a loaded team and has actually sent CVCA home the last 2 seasons in the playoffs. The prior year, Larlam's team, which featured outstanding superstar Trey Tucker, that team went 7-4, qualified for the playoffs, Larlam's first playoff team. And Tucker has gone on to a collegiate career at the University of Cincinnati. He is all over the CVCA record books. The Royals have had 3 straight winning seasons, finishing the year before that, the 2018 campaign, at 7-3. In fact, when you combine things, after a string of difficulties in the first 2 seasons as they rebuilt the program, the Royals have gone 7-3, 7-4, and 8-4. That's 22-11 the last 3 years, and in fact they've won 23 of their last 34 games, and the ship is definitely righted. We have an unofficial report that we may still be playing football here tonight. The word is that if there are any further delays after 11 p.m. Eastern Time, we would have a delay till tomorrow, but it looks like they are definitely going to try and come back. So, with that, we continue to wait it out. We mentioned earlier that you can reach us on Twitter at CVCA Livestream. So tweet us and reach out. Let us know how you're spending this first night, if you're still awake with us. In fact, if you've even found us on the second live stream. In the meantime, we're going to pause here. The stands have not been cleared. I think the powers that be understand that the storm that delayed this game for a third time have moved south and east, and there's definitely a window. We've been saying that all night, but this time it's for sure to get action in. So they have not moved to clear any of the spectators out of the stands, but we just wait for the delay to be completed per the regulations for the with the Ohio High School Athletic Association. So it's going to be a late night here, but everybody's still here. Those that are socially distant and allowed to be here, family and friends, we'll let you listen to the sounds of the stadium PA, public address system, and be back with you shortly. This is Tim Nichols. You're watching and listening to CVCA Royals Football. And welcome back once again. We've got football players on the field. At 11 o'clock, Friday night football will continue. Wrapping up lightning delay number 3. If you're still with us tonight, we salute you. This is Tim Nichols with the first ever CVCA Royals football live stream, and it's been an adventure. Frankly, not much different than anything we should have expected. Just getting to this night has been an adventure in this year of the coronavirus pandemic. Just 10 days ago, when the go-ahead was given for contact sports in the state of Ohio, and the revised schedule, which had CVCA traveling here to Fairless tonight, the revised 6-game regular season as put into effect by the OHSAA. The original 10-game season would have had CVCA at home tonight, hosting Villa Angela St. Joseph, non-conference opponent. The Royals traveled up to Euclid, Ohio last year and defeated Villa Angela VASJ 28-25 in the inaugural game for VASJ alum and head coach Elvis Gerbach. Yes, that Elvis Gerbach, former Michigan quarterback and quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. But we are not at home tonight. We are in Navarre, Ohio, and you're with us at Fairless High School for a Pac-7 conference game between the Fairless Falcons and the CVCA Royals. And we're going to get underway once again very shortly. Both teams have retaken the field. It is a third warm-up period. I guess it's not really a period, it's a session. CVCA quarterback Michael Bevington loosening up on the field. And that gives us an opportunity to talk about his backup. Number 4, Joey Lehner. Lehner's a freshman, and he's second on the depth chart. Obviously, the Royals would never want to see anything happen to 3-year starter, senior Michael Bevington. And it's very early to talk about an heir apparent, but Lehner has jumped up the depth chart. And last week in the scrimmage against that same VASJ team, Lehner started the second half. They only played 2 quarters and I think 1 series on the third quarter. Lehner took the first play and ran 65 yards on a keeper right up the middle into the end zone. So he's definitely got some wheels. And he's a name to keep in mind for the future. But the future is just that. We are here in the present. And the present has us paused at the 3:32 mark of the second quarter, with the Fairless Falcons hanging on to a 14-6 lead over CVCA, and frankly, the Falcons have had the better of it so far. But there's still more than a half of this football game to go. After the first, well, we'll call it the second lightning delay, the first delay within the actual game, play resumed at the 6-minute mark of the second period, the second quarter. The Royals had a 4th down and 5, and they punted. Fairless took over and got 1 first down. 2.5 minutes went off the clock, and we ended the third lightning delay, which is just about over, and we're moments away from resuming this football game. So we hope you're ready for what should be an exciting second half. We'll call it almost the second half of this game. And welcome back. Both teams have retaken the field. And we're going to play football. By my clock, it's 11:06 p.m. And the Falcons have a third down, make it a second down and 10 from midfield as we get back underway. Brindley takes the snap, rolls to his right. He's going to throw. He's got a man complete. That's Connor Durant. And Durant's got enough for a first down. It's a pickup of 13 yards. First down and 10. The Falcons will line up at the 37-yard line. Brindley, he's got Campbell to his left. It's a pitch to Campbell. He runs left, and he's tripped up. Great tackle there that time by the Royals' Kyle Snyder. That play results in a loss of 1. It's second down 11. Brindley out of the shotgun. He's going to pass. He's looking. He's got a man on the wheel route. It's complete, and it's big trouble for the Royals. All the way down, it looks like, to about the 10-yard lines. The Falcons are in business once again. It looks like the line of scrimmage may be about the 11-yard line, or perhaps right on the 10. First down for Fairless. They're looking for more. Ethan Brindley, hands off, and they're going to be close. Hunter Campbell went right up the middle. Looks like a pickup of 8 or 9 yards. We'll call it second down and 1. They can still get a first down, but they are knocking on the door. The clock winds. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Campbell runs out, lines up behind Brindley this time. Brindley takes the snap, hands off to Campbell. He's close. Waiting for the signal. He's not in. He may have enough for a first down, however. And he does. It's going to be first and goal just outside the goal line for Fairless. JT Nichols and Jack Boba coming in from the sideline to put some big bodies in the goal line defensive formation for CVCA. Fairless breaks the huddle. Campbell lines up deep behind his quarterback Brindley, who's in the shotgun. The tight formation with just one wide receiver split to the left-hand side. That handoff goes to to Campbell. He goes off right side, and he's in for the touchdown. Fairless Falcons touchdown number 3 comes with 48 seconds left on the first half play clock. And that'll make the score Fairless 20, CVCA 6, as we await the point after touchdown. So for the third time tonight, Ethan Brindley trots in with a tee. He'll set it up. Looks like Luke Yoder may be his holder. And the snap's down. This one is tipped, and it is blocked. That's a big play. JT Nichols comes off the field fired up. That puts the Royals back on a 14-point deficit and not chasing that point as they had their own point after touchdown blocked after their first touchdown. So 48 seconds to go here in the first half after 3 different rain delays and lightning delays. And Fairless is out to a 20-6 lead. The Royals do have 3 timeouts. Fairless has 2. And we'll see what CVCA can do as they'll have to get the hurry-up offense on the field. That's a big touchdown for Fairless because CVCA received the opening kickoff, and Fairless is due to receive the second half kickoff. So as Fairless has extended their lead to 2 touchdowns now, they're going to receive the ball once again in just 48 seconds after halftime. No word right now on whether halftime will be a standard normal halftime, as we've had plenty of delays already tonight. But as soon as we do know that, we'll pass that along to you. I would suspect if we have any break, it'll be a brief one. Lewis and Dicandrew back again. The last time Fairless kicked off, they kicked an onside kick about 2 hours ago, and they recovered. They do it again, and the hands team is in there, waiting for the signal, and there is not yet a signal. But it looks like the Royals offense is trotting out of the field, and that was pretty dangerous. That ball bounced around, but an interesting call that time for Fairless because they're going to get the ball at the start of the second half, but they just gave the Royals excellent field position with the ball on the 50-yard line. A curious decision by head coach A.J. Sarbaugh, but all of his decisions tonight have been actually coming up rosy, so we'll let that one go. But the Royals have first down and 10 from midfield. Bevington passes, looks, he's got a man across the middle. That looks like Dar. Dar is complete. Pickup of 13 yards. A quick first down for the Royals. Brennan Dar on that catch. 39 seconds to go. The clock winds. Still 3 timeouts for the Royals. Bevington out of the shotgun, and he's calling timeout. Oh, no, he doesn't. He's just changing the play up. Bevington has the ball. Looks more. Throws. Complete to David Lewis. Lewis is across the 30. 25. Breaks a tackle. 15. 10. Pulled down at the 1-yard line. A huge play. David Lewis. And timeout for the Royals with 15 seconds to go in the half. The Royals are in business. David Lewis found a spot around the 30-yard line in the flat after the offensive line for the Royals gave Michael Bevington a ton of time. He finally found Lewis, the open receiver, and then he went to work. Broke 1 tackle, and if not for a saving tackle from behind, he dragged a Fairless Falcon right down to the 1-foot line. So it'll be first down and goal to go for the Royals from the 1-yard line. There are 15 seconds to go. And it's really imperative that the Royals punch this ball in here and convert. They still have 2 timeouts left, so they can pass it or run it. Bevington in the backfield. He's got Kyle Snyder off to the front of him. Bevington's going to keep it. He's going to waltz into the end zone for a CVCA Royals touchdown. Michael Bevington, a 1-yard run off the left-hand side. JT Nichols sealed the corner, and he was into the end zone for a touchdown. That'll make it 20-12 with 11 seconds to go in the first half. And again, that Fairless onside kick has come back to bite the Falcons, and hopefully it inspires and ignites the Royals as we close out here in the first half. Bryce Keitlinger is in to kick the extra point. It's a bad snap. The snap was on the ground all the way back to the holder, Joey Lehner. He never had a chance. And Keitlinger never even got to kick that one. So the Royal special teams is hurting them tonight so far. They're 0 for 2 on point after touchdown attempts. And with 11 seconds to go, Fairless retains an 8-point lead. The score is Fairless 20, the Royals 12. Still, that was a big, big strike to David Lewis down to the 1-yard line, and Michael Bevington waltzed into the end zone. And speaking of strikes, it brings the Royals within striking distance. Dan Alarlam likes to play cards every once in a while. A.J. Sarbaugh has already onside kicked it a couple of times. You wonder if Larlam might try an onside kick here to give the Royals one last chance in this half, or will he kick it away and just set up to play defense in the second half? Fairless is set for a pretty standard kickoff return. They've got 2 men back deep. Keitlinger set to kick it away. And he puts his leg into it. Connor Durant is the return man. Durant's across the 30, and he might have he's got something going. Connor Durant is going to go. 20, 10, 5, touchdown as the clock winds out. We'll see if this stands. I don't see any flags on the field. And we just mentioned that the Royal Special Teams has been quite unspecial tonight. Anything but special. And Durant returns the ball for a touchdown as the clock runs out in the first half. And that's a dagger, as they're going to get the ball right back to start the second half. Brindley, actually looks like they may have a different kicker in the game. Number 84, Hayden Miller. The only thing that you could not let happen just happened. Connor Durant will go about 85 to 90 yards on that return. And once he hit about the 40 to 45-yard line, there was nobody left. This time, Hayden Miller will be in to take care of the extra point, and this time it is up and splits the uprights. Good. And we've come to the end of the first half, a first half that has been dominated by the Fairless Falcons. The score at halftime is Fairless 27, CVCA 12. And they put 10 minutes on the clock, so we are going to have a 10-minute halftime after all the other delays. But I'll tell you what, the Royals have got some work to do and work cut out for them. There's 24 minutes of football left in this game, and they find themselves down 15 points. It'll be some late night and perhaps some early morning football. Undoubtedly some early morning football. And hopefully the Royals have a big second half comeback in them, because they're going to have to shore up a lot in the second 24 minutes. So we gave you a little bit of updates on some of the other games earlier. We mentioned already that the Northwest Orville game has been suspended and will resume tomorrow at 12 noon at Orville. We'll check and try and find a score for you on that Tuslaw Southeast game. That game has gone final, and Southeast has defeated Tuslaw tonight 21-12. The Pirates victorious over Tuslaw. We mentioned earlier that Manchester is idle and will not be playing until later on this fall. And that completes the Pac-7 out-of-town scoreboard. During the last break, we did the This Day in Royals History segment that we had planned for tonight. So you know that the Royals have come back before on this very night in 2009, and it's going to take the same type of a comeback tonight against the Fairless Falcons. And head coach A.J. Sarbaugh's team. We're glad you joined us for Royals football. It's our first ever live stream. We've had all kinds of challenges, but we're still making it happen as the clock ticks toward 11:30, which is approximately when this game will resume in the second half after a brief 10-minute intermission. Both teams have retreated to the end zones. Again, a new thing this year. They will not go back to the locker room during halftime. So it's gut check time for the Royals tonight. You can find all your CVCA Royals athletics information on the web at athletics.cvca.com. Correction, that's athletics.cvcaroyals.com. So if you've got questions about schedules or upcoming streams that we're going to hope to do for you, that's the place to go to find it. You can also follow CVCA Athletics and CVCA Royals Football on their respective Facebook pages and Twitter accounts. And as we mentioned to you, we now have a CVCA Livestream Twitter account at CVCA Livestream, and we'll try and update you on things related to football live streams on that website as well, or that Twitter account rather. We're at halftime. Yes, that's right. Halftime at 11:24 p.m. It's not been a great first half for the Royals. A recap. The Royals took the opening kickoff and stalled. Punted away to Fairless. Connected on a couple of runs and a pass, but then the Royals forced a fumble and took over, but could not do anything with it. An ensuing punt went 62 yards into the end zone, and Fairless had 1st and 10, and they promptly went on an 80-yard drive. Senior quarterback Ethan Brindley found Brody Pumneo for a 23-yard touchdown pass. It was Fairless' second touchdown. And before that, the Royals had, or that was their first touchdown, rather. The Royals then came back and scored, but missed an extra point. David Lewis received a pass from the Royals quarterback. Michael Bevington, 32 yards. It was 7-6. The next play actually went for a touchdown as Hunter Campbell rumbled 68 yards into the end zone. It was 14-6. Once we came back from the second delay, Fairless drove down the field 50 yards. The second delay within the game, the third delay of the night, and punched it into the end zone with under a minute to go to take a 21-6 lead and make it a 26. The point after touchdown was failed. They onside kicked it, curiously, gave the Royals great field position, and they marched right down the field and scored, but the extra point attempt failed after a bad snap. It was 20-half. The Royals kicked off And Connor Durant stuck a dagger or an exclamation point on the Fairless Falcons first half with an 85-yard plus touchdown return. The point after touchdown was good, and that's where we are right now at a 27-12 score at halftime here in Navarre, Ohio. It's been a fiery, we'll call it, halftime speech by Coach Dan Larlam. Now the Royals have broken out into their position groups as the clock ticks down to 3 minutes. CVCA will kick off to start the second half. And as we mentioned before, it looks is behind us, and the window is pretty good, so we should get this in. Leads the Royals back over to their sideline. Team 25 has in them. Why not us, they said before the season. And why not us it is, as they've got a work cut out for them here in the second half. Once again, broadcast of this live stream has been made possible through the generosity of all parents, and we thank them for allowing us to bring this to you in this rulings made by Governor Mike DeWine and Lieutenant Governor John Husted in conjunction with the Ohio Department of Health. Spectator activity is limited just to family. Tonight, the Falcons Stadium, I believe it holds a rule that maximum of 15% capacity is allowed at high school football games in the state of Ohio this year, which means there are about 300 fans here, and Fairless allowed the Royals to have. The families are spaced. Royals do respond, as head coach Dan Larlam often says, and so are not anticipated to get in tonight. Did volunteer to give some of the tickets they had, their one ticket, to some of the other Royals families of upperclassmen so they could have a mom and a dad present. But we know that most of you have been forced to watch this live cast from the comfort of your own homes and the safety of your own homes. So we're glad to be able to bring it to you. We're hoping for much better things here in the second half. The clock winds down and winds out on the halftime. All zeros up on the board. It's been reset for the third quarter, and we're just about ready to get underway once again. I feel like we've been saying that all night. This is Tim Nichols. Glad to bring you CVCA Royals football. Looking ahead on the schedule for the Royals, beyond this long night, the inaugural night of the campaign, next week the Royals will be on the road again at Northwest. And 2 weeks from tonight, the Royals will have their home opener against the Orrville Red Raiders. Amazingly, they've just tacked on another 3 minutes this halftime, as if we haven't been here long enough tonight. So, what's another 3 minutes among friends? The rain is gone. The wind has picked up. The American flag is taut. It looks like it's a little bit of a crosswind. And as we look forward to the second half, CVCA is going to have to learn how, or figure out a way to shut down Hunter Campbell. The defense is going to have to make some stops, maybe force some turnovers, and get the Royals back into this game. The Royals offense can be effective. They've put up 2 scores, but the special teams has been a challenge tonight, both on extra points and on coverage. So as we resume play, as we are looking for the visitor sideline, the Royals will go right to left. The Royals wearing their all-white jerseys. We affectionately like to refer to those as the Stormtrooper jerseys. One thing you may have noticed tonight, if you have had a chance to maybe zoom in on the close-ups, the Royals are sporting a new helmet logo this year. So the CV logo has been pushed aside, and there's a brand new Royals Lion logo adorning the side of each of those helmets. The clock is set to 12, and we're ready to go. Keitlinger is ready to kick it off, and he puts a leg into it. This one is squibbed and taken by an up man. Number 14, Ethan Godwin, jumps on it, and he's down at the 35-yard line. And that's where Fairless will take over, first down and 10 to start the second half, and we're underway. Just underway here in the third quarter. The Falcons will have the first possession, leading 27-12. Line of scrimmage, their own 35-yard line. Brindley, a counter play. Number 10, Hunter Campbell gets it, and he's piled up at the line of scrimmage. No gain. I don't think I'd seen a counter play in the entire first half, so something unique. Try and mix up the Royals' defensive front, but they were having none of it. No gain on that play. It's second down and 10. This time, the Falcons are going to pass. Inside screen, and the Royals roll over that one too. Complete to number 5, Connor Durant. But right there on the tackle, looks like it was number 18, Keitlinger. A loss of 1 on the play. It's third down and 11. Big play here to see if the Royals can get off the field and force a 3 and out to start the second half. Brindley will look to pass. He's got pressure. Gets it off. Throws, and it's complete. And a broken play. This one's going to go far down the field for another Falcons touchdown. Reese Lanier takes it 66 yards, and the Falcons score again. The Royals defensive back went for the interception and missed, and there was nobody left. And just like that, with 10 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the third quarter, the hole gets that much deeper for CVCA. Hayden Miller is in to kick. The snap is down, and Miller's kick splits the uprights. And with just a minute and 43 seconds gone in the second half, the Falcons strike again. Big plays, the story of the night for Fairless, and they extend their lead to 34-12. What did Yogi Berra used to say? It's getting late early out here. It's definitely late. We're underway in the second half, and the Royals have a 22-point deficit. It's probably the last thing that we could have expected heading into this season. So Fairless has onside kicked it twice already tonight. So the Royals have to be ready for that. Dicandrew, 15, and 21 Lewis back deep for the Royals. Here comes the kick, and this was squibbed. It will get back. Looks like David Lewis has it. And Lewis gets hit once, brings the ball across the 40-yard line. The Royals will be set up first down and 10. Lots of work to do for the Royals here in the second half as they get set for their first possession. Line of scrimmage is the 39 of CVCA. Bevington hands off to Kyle Snyder. Snyder's up the middle. Some tough running. Looks like it'll be a gain of about 6, maybe 7. It'll be second down 3. And the Royals will go quick. Bevington in the shotgun, Snyder to his left. They've got receivers split wide left. Bevington looks to throw. Now he's rolling to his left. He's going to run with it. He's got blocking in front of him across the 50 to the 45, and he's knocked out of bounds. Great blocking by the wide receiver, David Lewis, on that play, and Bevington picks up a first down as the sticks get moved. First down and 10 from the Fairless 43-yard line. Bevington with Snyder split to his right, and he hands off to Snyder. He's across the 40, dragging defenders down to the 37-yard line. A pickup of 6 yards brings up second down with 4 yards to go. This time Snyder lines up to the right. Check that to left. Bevington on a keeper. And he is taken down by number 6. His counterpart, Ethan Brindley, who read that all the way. A loss of 3 yards. Third down and 7. Royals have trips split wide right. Single receiver to the left. Snyder offset to the left-hand side. Bevington calling out the signal. He's got it. He looks left now, looking right. He rolls right, looks back, throws, and that ball is intercepted. Intercepted after a tip. Number 18 with it for Fairless. He's across with a big return nearly to the CVCA 14. Luke Yoder on the interception. The first turnover of the night for CVCA. When it rains, it pours, and it's poured plenty tonight. Physically, it's now pouring on CVCA. Defense is going to have to step up. Looks like the line of scrimmage is the CVCA 42-yard line, might be the 43. We'll call it the 43. First down and 10 yards to go. Tight formation for the Falcons. It's a pitch out to Campbell. Campbell trying to find room. Switches direction the other way. He's got blockers. It's like a reverse, and Campbell's off to the races once again. Finally taken down about the 25-yard line. CVCA had that all covered on the near side, but then Campbell reversed field and picked up more than 20 yards. down near the red zone once again. Looks like the 25-yard line is the line of scrimmage. Brindley rolls right, looks, throws, and he's got a man, but the ball is dropped. Incomplete. Connor Durant was the intended receiver. The ball fell to the turf. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Line of scrimmage is the 24-yard line of CVCA. 7:39 to go in the third quarter. The score is the Falcons 34, the Royals 12. Brindley has it, looks to throw. It's complete. One tackle broken. The runner still going before he's knocked down. Luke Yoder again on the reception. That might have been Hunter Campbell out of the backfield. And we've got a stoppage for an injured player. Clock is stopped with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to go. That was enough for another first down. We are unable to see the player that is down on the field from our vantage point. The scoreboard has it 1st and goal from the 6-yard line. And the ball is at the absolute other end of the field for where we are situated. And a fine round of applause. It looks like the injured player was Hunter Campbell. He's going to run off the field. A little bit of limp on his right leg, but Campbell has been a difference maker tonight. So when play resumes, it's going to be 1st down and goal for the Falcons. And Fairless has had their way this evening. The clock now winds again. We're under 7.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Fairless trots out. They've got it 1st and goal. The line of scrimmage is a 6. Colton Colucci is in the backfield now with Campbell on the sidelines. It's a jet sweep left side, and untouched into the end zone is Brody Pumneo for his 2nd touchdown of the night. It's another Fairless touchdown. And this one is quickly getting out of hand. Fairless has put up a 40 spot on the Royals, and we're just less than 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Regardless of how this one finishes tonight, there's going to be plenty to watch tomorrow on tape and in the coming week for this Royals team. It looks like Fairless has called timeout. So timeout on the field with 7 minutes and 6 seconds to go in the third quarter, and a shocking score tonight. Fairless 40 with a point after touchdown attempt to come. CVCA 12. Fairless has put up 20 points in the last 5.5 minutes of time on the clock. The Falcons returned a kickoff for a touchdown as time expired in the first half. Scored to start the second half and have just scored again. And it looks like they're going to go for 2. And if they convert here, it'll be a running clock. Brindley rolls to his right, lobs the pass up, and it is complete. And that was a great strategic play by A.J. Sarbaugh. It's late enough as it is, and when the clock, when the difference in score is 30 points, and I would never have imagined we'd have a 30-point differential tonight in Ohio, the clock runs at all times. So that may shorten our night, but right now the Royals, with a 30-point deficit, need every last second they can muster up tonight. But the last 19 minutes and 6 seconds will be a running clock unless the Royals can score and get that deficit under 30 points. You start to do the math, and it is quite the uphill battle at this stage. $30 points is 4 scores with a couple of 2-point conversions and assumptions on a couple of PATs that are good. And right now we've yet to convert one. That is CVCA tonight. Had one blocked and had a bad snap on their second touchdown. So A.J. Sarbaugh may be only 29, but he's got a wealth of football knowledge, and that was quite a good strategic play to ensure the clock will run from here on out. Looking back over the 2+ year tenure of Sarbaugh here at Fairless, certainly the rivalry game against Tussall last year when they took home the Blue Bell is probably the highlight for Fairless. But considering this is a 2-time returning playoff team at CVCA, to put up 42 points into the third quarter, this may be the finest performance of the Fairless Falcon teams in a couple of years. The kickoff is squigged. Lewis will take it once again for the Royals, and he breaks to his left side. Now he's going to reverse, and he's in trouble. He's got no blockers, and he's taken down by a host of Fairless Falcons. He may have been better served to just take what he could get. And the Royals will set up shop inside their own 30 at about the 27 or 28-yard line. So the clock winds, and will continue to do so until the Royals can get that score under 30. Michael Bevington still in the backfield. And Bev is going to hand off to Kyle Snyder. Big hole for Snyder, and he's on his way. Snyder across the 50, 40. He's got one man chasing him, 30, 20. A huge run for Kyle Snyder down to the 12-yard line. 64 yards from the line of scrimmage. And the offense is not done. They'll set up fast. First down and 10 from the 12-yard line of Fairless. Bevington in the shotgun, and we've got all kinds of motion and flags. And the Royals went early, and they'll march off 5 yards against him. Unfortunately, again, that clock continues to tick. So an unforced error costing the Royals both yardage and time off the clock. They push the ball back to, looks like, the 19-yard line. First and 15. Bevington looks. He's got a big rush. He's going to keep it. Bev to the 12. He's taken down. Looks like he's back to approximately the original line of scrimmage, maybe an extra yard, a pickup of 6. It's going to be second down and 9. The Royals will go fast. 2 receivers split wide left and 2 wide right. Snyder to Bevington's left. He received the snap, hands off to Snyder. He's hit at the line of scrimmage, and there's not going to be much there. It'll be 3rd down and long. You've got to imagine there's no field goals here, and it's 4-down territory the rest of the night. Snyder somehow picked up 2 yards in that play. 3rd down and 7. Bevington looks, flushed, running to his left, still looking, throws across his body, and the worst thing a quarterback can do is throw across his body. That ball is intercepted on the 1-yard line. Connor Durant on the interception, and the Falcons have thwarted the CVCA drive at the 1-yard line. It was 3rd down and 7, and Michael Bevington was trying to make something happen. For a moment, a receiver flashed open, but at any level of football, when you throw across your body, typically that's a dangerous move to make, and it was right there. So that's the 2nd turnover for the Royals tonight. The Falcons will take over 1st down and 10. So we'll see if the defense can come through and make a stop. Brindley under center on this one, and they just push it forward to try and get out of the danger of their own end zone. The line pushes forward for a gain of 3. It's going to be 2nd down and 7 yards to go. The clock continues to tick, rolling down to 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. It's a shocking score, a shocking result on opening night. Fairless 42, the Royals 12. 2nd down and 7. Brindley out of the shotgun. He'll take as much time as he can. The clock is in the Falcons' favor. Takes the snap, and it's a sweep around the left-hand side. Ball's on the ground. And the Royals have recovered. Just what they needed to do. The defense comes up big. It's the 2nd turnover for Fairless tonight. It looked like that might have been Max Kirby on that run. And with the change of possession, it's a rare clock stoppage at 2:35 to go in the 3rd. It's 1st down and goal to go for the Royals. Bevington will pass. Bevington looks. He throws. Complete. Touchdown. 1 play, 7 yards. And the Royals will go for 2. A little difficult to see from where we were, but we're tentatively going to give that touchdown catch to Bryce Keitlinger. So the 2-point conversion attempt, Bevington has it. He's going to keep and roll right, looking. He's looking for Simmons. And the ball is caught out of bounds. So the 2-point conversion attempt fails, but the Royals are on the board with 2 minutes and 22 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. The score is Fairless 42, CVCA 18, and that means the difference is 24 points. The running clock will now stop, and we'll go back to traditional rules until such time as a 30-point spread would happen once again. So point number 1 of the comeback plan is complete. 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 6, if my math holds true, is 30. So we got the 6 part. The Royals need to roll 3/8 in the final 14 minutes and 22 seconds to pull even with Fairless. So Keitlinger in to kick once again, and they've got to cover it better than they covered the last one if they kick it deep. And this time they squib it, and it's taken by the up man, number 14, Ethan Godwin. And Godwin is across the 40-yard line, looks like about the 43, almost the 44-yard line before he's pushed back. And Fairless will take over first down and 10. So the Royals defense stepped up big on the last possession. They need to step up big on every possession from here on out. 2 minutes, 13 seconds to go in the third quarter as the clock is nearing midnight. Brindley back in the shotgun. It's the jet sweep. And the Royals string it out. Pumneo on the carry. The Royals had that one strung out from the get-go. A gain of just 1 yard. It's second down and 9. The play clock still at 17 seconds. Game clock at 1:35. Fairless finally breaks the huddle. Ethan Brindley calls out the signals. He's going to pass. There's a big rush. Now he's going to keep it and hold on to it. Breaks a tackle. He's still going across midfield, and a good gain down to the Royals' 40-yard line. It's enough for a first down, and they move the chains and keep possession of the ball. Brindley was knocked out of bounds on that play, so the clock stops at 1 minute and 15 seconds. Third quarter. It looks like the line of scrimmage is about the 42-yard line of the Royals. Out of the shotgun. Brindley's going to keep it. Kyle Snyder's in there to stop him. Actually, it's a direct snap to Colucci. Pickup of 3 yards. Colton Colucci's got Kyle Snyder's number 3 plastered all over him with the big hit there. Clock runs, under a minute to go in the third quarter. And they actually gave him 5 yards in that play, so it's second down and 5. Handoff and a big hit. And Fairless is unlikely to run another play this quarter. Colucci on that carry as well. He earned about a half yard. But we're going to wind down to the end of the third quarter. And a big third quarter it was for the Fairless Falcons. We've got 3 quarters in the books as the clock strikes midnight. And the calendar moves to the 29th of August. The score at the end of 3 periods. The Fairless Falcons 42 and the CVC Royals 18. If you're still with us, we're glad that you're here. It's been a long day and a long night and a long lead up to the season. Football is greater than no football, as Coach Dan Larlam likes to say, but it's been a tough night of football so far. And we're ready to start the fourth quarter. Fairless will have a third down, 5 yards to go from the CVCA 36-yard line. Senior quarterback Ethan Brindley is going to drop back and roll to his right. He throws. He's got a man wide open and complete, but short of the first down. It's a short gain. 3 yards. It's going to bring up a fourth down. 2 yards to go. And it's definitely too far, in all likelihood, for a field goal attempt. It would be 50 yards from here, and undoubtedly, Fairless will go for it. Fourth down, 1.5 yards to go. And if there's any hope of a Royals comeback, it has to start right here on this play. Fourth down and a long one. Handoff is stuffed. The ball's on the ground, and the Royals are going to take over possession. A huge hit. Fairless recovers, but the ball will get turned over on downs. It's a loss of 9 yards in the play, and a huge play right there for CVCA. 11 minutes and a second to go. (42-18). And the Royals have the ball, trailing by 24. Tight stack formation, or a bunch formation on the right-hand side. To the right of quarterback Michael Bevington. Bevington looks, throws, and the pass is dropped. Intended for number 82, Ty Bova. The incomplete pass, while not ideal, helps stop that clock at 10:56 rather to go here in the fourth quarter. This time trips wide right. Snyder to the left of Bevington. Bevington steps, looks, he's going to keep it. He's across the 45 to the 50, still going, flag down. And Bevington's out of bounds at the Fairless 40-yard line, but that came from the back judge, and that means it's going to come back. Illegal use of the hands or an illegal block on CVCA will be the call. The block, the transaction or transgression rather, was downfield, so they'll move the ball back to the 40-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 11 as they replay second down. Trips wide left again. Low snap, Bevington, quick throw. It's complete. And David Lewis has it. He's across midfield and close to out of bounds at about the 47-yard line of Fairless. It's going to be close to a first down. And it will be. They'll move the sticks. First down and 10, CVCA. 10 minutes, 21 seconds to go for the Royals in the fourth quarter of game number 1. Bevington will hand off to Snyder. Snyder's across the line of scrimmage. Big hit, but not before Kyle Snyder rumbles down the field to the 35-yard line. And that's enough for another Royals first down. Kyle Snyder will get a breather. Bevington will hand off. It looks like number 10, Ricky Levac, freshman. Unless my eyes are deceiving me. Takes the handoff and runs up the middle. Actually, that was number 30, Dylan Webb, another freshman. Webb getting his first action. He picked up 4 yards on that carry. It's 2nd down and 6. This time, Bevington with a quick out, and the pass is incomplete, a little low, intended for number 15, Eli Dykandrew. It'll be 3rd down, 6 yards to go from the 31-yard line. 9 minutes, 28 seconds remaining. The Royals need the 25 to keep the drive alive. It is 3rd down, and they would likely go for it on 4th. Nevertheless, 3rd down and 6 right now. Bevington looks, still looking. Now he's under pressure, and he's still trying to rumble forward, but he's taken down close to the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up a big 4th down. Bevington did gain 2 yards on that play, but he had no one to throw to. It's 4th down and 4. Just under 9 minutes to go. The Royals will split 3 to the left, single receiver to the right. Bevington rolls to his right, looking, throws, and it's tipped and dropped. The pass was intended. Looked like their number 82, Ty Bova, but a Fairless Falcons defender got his hand on it. Bova tried to get the ricochet, but could not, and the ball turns over on downs to Fairless. So the home team has it, 1st down and 10 from the 29-yard line, and they'll take over with 8 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the ball game. You would expect a heavy dosage of Hunter Campbell if he's good enough to go. That may have been Colton Colucci, though, on that last run. And it was a pickup of 9 yards. 2nd down and 1 yard to go. Campbell's night may be done. I don't think we've seen him since he came up gimpy on a big hit at the end of the 3rd quarter. But he had a great night. So Colton Colucci now likely to get the majority of the runs for the Fairless Falcons. Colucci again across the line of scrimmage. Picks up about 6 yards. It's plenty of yardage for the 1st down. They'll move the sticks and they'll keep that clock running. Fairless in no rush, nor should they be. They finally break the huddle. 10 seconds to go on the play clock. This time there's 2 backs in the backfield. They run a counter play. And Brindley kept it himself, actually. He picked up a couple of yards. It'll be 2nd down at 7. It's going to be a long bus ride home to Cuyahoga Falls tonight. But hats off to the Fairless Falcons. They were ready to go from the get-go. Ball's on the ground. Fairless almost giving the Royals a break on a bad snap. Carson Colucci, the backup quarterback, was in and fumbled that snap, so it's a loss of 6 yards in the play. And it results in 3rd down and 12 yards to go. The clock continues to tick down. 6.5 minutes to go. The Falcons will scrimmage from the 43-yard line on their own side of the field. And they'll look to pass it. The Royals with heavy pressure and a big sack. Fourth down. So the Royals force a Fairless punt. But right now, the opponent is not just the Fairless Falcons, it's that clock, which continues to tick, and Fairless is in no hurry. 5 minutes, 35 seconds. And my guess is Fairless is not even going to line up. They're going to call a timeout as the play clock gets down to 1, and that's exactly what happens. Timeout on the field with 5 minutes and 24 seconds to go. In the ball game from Fairless High School, the Falcons lead this one 42-18. And hats off to those Royals cheerleaders. You can probably hear them in the background. They have not given up tonight. Cheering on Go Big Blue. But it's been a rough night for the Royals. If the score holds, the Falcons will break a 2-game losing streak to CVCA in the series and secure their 6th win overall in 20 meetings. Fairless does come out in punt formation. It looks like it's Reese Lanier back to kick and Michael Bevington to receive for CVCA. Ball's on the ground. Lanier does get it off. It will bounce. It hits at the 42-yard line and will roll dead at the CVCA 36.5. So the clock stops and the Royals will take over possession. 1st down and 10. Five minutes and 12 seconds to go in the ball game. The Royals will set up. They've got trips wide left. Bevington, handoff up the middle. A big run. That's number 30. Dylan Webb. Webb picks up 13 yards. It's a Royals 1st down. The ball's moved out to the 47-yard line of Fairless. They reset it. Bevington receives the snap. He's going to pass. He's looking. Now he tucks it and runs. And he's tackled at the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of 7. Second down and 3. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Kyle Snyder back in. 2 wide receivers split each to either side. Second and 3. Bevington receives a snap, surveys the field, and now he's going to tuck and run again, and he's tackled at the 39-yard line. A gain of perhaps 1 or 2. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2. The Royals need big chunks, but big chunks are not what they have. Joey Lehner now in at quarterback. Hands off to Snyder, and Kyle Snyder is going to get a first down. So the Royals move down to the 33-yard line of Fairless. Lehner getting his first varsity snaps, looks, throws. He's looking left side, and that ball falls incomplete. And we've got a stoppage for an injury. The clock stops at 3 minutes and 24 seconds remaining in the 4th quarter. We are now 5 hours and 20 minutes past the scheduled kickoff time, and this injury is for our first cramp of the evening. After 3 different delays and 45 minutes of football action, it's a testimony to the fitness level of both these teams that we're just seeing that first cramping. And David Lewis for the Royals was the player down with the cramp and the injury. We'll call it a cramp, not an injury. So Lewis with a long walk back to the visiting side of the field. And when play resumes after the incomplete pass, it'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 33-yard line. So Michael Bevington, check that. Joey Lehner is back on the field at quarterback, and he'll look to throw. He's got a man open, and it's Ty Bova, freshman to freshman. A little sign of the future right there. Bova gets his first reception, a first down catch. Down to the 14-yard line. Hand off to Snyder. Snyder bowls forward. Looks like he gains perhaps 3 yards. 2nd down and 7. Logan Stutz on the tackle. We're under 3 minutes now. Lehner hands off to Snyder, and Snyder's up the middle and into the end zone for a CVCA Royals touchdown. Kyle Snyder from 11 yards out makes the score Fairless 42 and the Royals 24. 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go. The Royals will go for 2. They need 3 8s. Lehner receives the snap. Handoff is to Snyder off the right side, and he's in for the 2-point conversion. That makes it 42-26. Don't turn off the stream yet. 2 minutes and 36 seconds to go in the game, and the Royals are back within 16 points. Crazier things have happened. So we'll need an onside kick, a drive, another onside kick recovery, and another drive just to push this thing to overtime with a second 2-point conversion. And if that happens, then we will have seen just about everything tonight. And the Royals cheerleaders with their tradition of leg kicks after the touchdown. Just completed 26 leg kicks. We'd like to see them do a few more before the night's out. Coach Dan Larlam has got his special teams unit in a huddle, and now he sends them out on the field, and you can expect an onside kick in this situation. The Falcons have their hands team out. They're expecting it as well. If there's a miracle, or a relative miracle, it will start right here. Bryce Keitlinger is out to take care of the kickoff duties, and there's the whistle. The onside kick is up, and it's a hard kick. It didn't get the bounce that the Royals needed, and it's recovered by Fairless in the second unit, or the second wave beyond the initial hands team wave or line. And Fairless will take over. The Royals still have all 3 timeouts left. Fairless has 1 with 2 minutes and 34 seconds to go. Yours truly will be shocked if Fairless puts the ball in the air. Senior Ethan Brindley will hand off, and it's a run by Colton Colucci. Colucci has got about 8 yards on that first down play, and it'll be 2nd down and 2. The clock is winding down. The Royals not taking timeout. And we're looking at 2 minutes to go. Fairless does not need to snap it until 1:45. They've yet to even break the huddle. They break it with 8 seconds to go. And Brindley will go under center. And they get it snapped with 1 second left. The Royals stuff the play. A loss of 1. It's 3rd down and 3. But the Royals seem settled on not calling those timeouts. So victory does not look like it's in the cards in any way, shape, or form tonight here in Fairless, as it's 3rd down and 3. And now a stoppage with 1:05 to go. We're not quite sure why. Handoff up the middle on third down. It will not be enough for a first down, but the clock now winds down under a minute. 50 seconds to go in the game, 37 on the game clock. It's fourth down. 3 yards to go. And we could be looking at what may be the final snap of the game. Fairless breaks the huddle. Brindley calls out the signals. He's going to hand off to Colucci. Colucci stuffed at the first hit, but gets a second effort. He's probably got enough for the first down. And if he does, that's going to do it. First down, Fairless. They'll hang on to the ball, and as soon as they blow the whistle and restart the clock, this one will be history. Perhaps the biggest win in the A.J. Sarbaugh era at Fairless High School. A big opening night victory against the CVCA Royals. The clock reads all 3 zeros. There will not be another snap, and the final score tonight from Fairless is the Falcons 42 and the Royals 26. If you're still with us tonight, we thank you for sticking with us through this broadcast. We've been pleased to bring it to you. Stay tuned to @CVCA Livestream on Twitter and the CVCA Athletics website for information on our next broadcast. We hope to come to you live next week from Northwest. In the meantime, we're going to get on out of here tonight because we got about an hour plus drive home. We got to tear down, and the clock reads 12:30. Hats off to you, and we thank you for being with us tonight. On behalf of CVCA and the CVCA football parents who made this broadcast possible for you, we thank you for being with us. So long, everybody. Good night. What's that?